Hey, Jason here from Simply Swider. So if your washing machine is leaking oil underneath and you're worried your washer's done for, don't panic. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to fix it. Good news is most of these oil leaks can be fixed without buying a new machine. This repair typically takes 2-3 hours and costs between $10.50 in parts compared to $800 and $1,200 for a new washer. Before we get started, if you run into any questions, jump into our Facebook group. Links in the description. We've got thousands of people helping each other fix their appliances, and I pop in there daily to help out. All right, so here's the deal. If you've got oil pooling under your washing machine, there's about a 99% chance it's coming from your transmission. That's because the transmission is literally the only component in your washer that holds oil. Now, don't let that scare you. We can fix this. But here's something most people don't know. You got to make sure you're actually dealing with oil and not just water or grease. Trust me, I've seen folks tear apart their whole machine thinking they had an oil leak when it was just soapy water. Before you grab your toolbox and start taking everything apart, we need to figure out what we're actually dealing with here. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten calls from people who thought they had a transmission leak only to find out it was something completely different. Here's your simple three-step test. First, look at the color. Transmission oil starts clear to amber but turns brown or black with age. Second, feel the texture with a paper towel. Oil is slick and smooth. Water isn't slippery and evaporates quickly, while bearing grease is thick and viscous, usually white or yellowish. Third, smell it. Oil has a distinct petroleum odor, especially when old or burnt. The smell test works too. Oil's got a distinct odor, especially if it's old or burnt. Water doesn't smell like anything, and grease has more of a metallic or chemical smell. Here's a quick trick. Dab some on a paper towel. Oil leaves a translucent stain that you can kind of see through. Water just makes the paper wet and dries without staining. Grease leaves a thick, consistent stain that doesn't disappear. Now, here's something I see all the time. You've got a washer that's not just leaking oil, but it's also making all kinds of weird noises. Don't ask me how I know that, but when you've got both symptoms happening together, it's telling us something specific about what's going wrong. So, what's happening here is that leaking oil is getting onto moving parts like your drive belt, splutch cam, or shift actuator. Trust me on this one, oil and rubber belts don't mix well. When that transmission oil hits your drive belt, you're going to hear squealing, grinding, or just unusual noises during the wash cycle. Here's what I've learned over the years. If you're hearing noise along with seeing oil, you've probably got two problems to fix. First, obviously, is that transmission seal we talked about. But second, and this is important, you might need to replace that drive belt too. Once oil gets on those belts, they can slip or make noise even after you fix the leak. All right, so what we're going to do is follow the same transmission seal replacement process, but we're also going to inspect that drive belt real good. You can see on the screen right now how oil-soaked belts look. They get this shiny, slippery surface that just won't grip properly anymore. If your belt looks like that, replace it while you've got everything apart. Don't ask me how I know that, but trying to clean an oil-soaked belt is just going to leave you frustrated. All right, so you've confirmed it's oil. Now we're looking at the main culprit, which is that worn out oil seal on your transmission. This little guy sits right beneath the tub, and when it goes bad, that's when you start seeing oil everywhere. Now, here's the thing about transmissions. If you've got a standard top load washer with an agitator, you've definitely got one. Front loaders and those high efficiency top loaders don't have transmissions at all. The transmission's job is to take the motor's spinning motion and turn it into the back and forth agitation plus the spinning for the spin cycle. I had this customer last month whose whole basement floor looked like someone changed their car's oil down there. Turns out her transmission seal had been leaking for months. When oil gets on the drive belt and other moving parts, it can cause some pretty weird noises too. To fix this, you're going to need to get that transmission out. Fair warning, this isn't exactly a beginner repair. Safety first, unplug the washer and turn off water supply before starting. You'll need basic tools like socket wrenches, screwdrivers, and a helper to flip the washer safely. The process involves removing the agitator, taking out the inner tub, flipping the washer on its back, removing the drive belt, disconnecting the motor, and pulling the whole transmission assembly out. Once you've got it out, you can see exactly where that seal is leaking and replace it with a new one that'll run you about 10 to 50 bucks. Now, here's where things get a bit more complicated. If you're seeing oil actually inside your washing tub, maybe some black flakes floating around in your wash water, you've got double trouble. This means both your transmission seal and your tub seal are shot. The tub seal is what keeps the water in the tub separate from the transmission below it. When that seal wears out, it creates a pathway for oil to work its way up into your wash water. As the drum spins during the cycle, it can actually push that leaking transmission oil right up through the damaged tub seal. Here's a perfect example. I had a customer who was absolutely panicked. Her white towels kept coming out with mysterious black streaks. She'd tried different detergents, cleaned the tub, even called an exorcist, just kidding about that last part. Turns out oil had been seeping into the tub for weeks through a failed tub seal. To fix this problem, you're going to have to replace both seals. The transmission seal we talked about earlier, plus the tub seal. The process is similar, but you'll need to remove the inner tub completely to get to that tub seal. It's usually a rubber seal that you can squeeze and pop out once you've got access to it. What about when your washer's not just leaking oil, but also making all kinds of racket? Well, these two problems usually go hand in hand, and here's why. When oil leaks from the transmission, it doesn't just stay put on the floor. That oil gets all over the drive belt, the pulleys, the motor, basically everything underneath there. Once oil hits a moving drive belt, you're going to start hearing squealing, grinding, maybe even some thumping sounds. The oil makes the belt slip on the pulleys, which can throw off the whole timing of your wash cycles. Plus, if the transmission's been leaking for a while, it's running low on oil inside, which means those gears aren't getting proper lubrication. That's when you start hearing grinding or clicking noises during the wash cycle. Here's what I've learned over the years. If you're hearing noises along with seeing oil, you need to act fast. Stop using the washer immediately to prevent further damage. The longer you let it go, the more expensive this repair gets. You might need to replace the drive belt if oil has made it stretch or slip. That's an extra $15.25. Worst case scenario, if the transmission ran too long without oil, those internal plastic gears could be damaged, turning a $50 seal replacement into a $200 plus transmission rebuild. All right, so that's how you tackle a washing machine oil leak. Here's your quick action checklist. Step 1, confirm it's actually oil using the paper towel test. Step 2, check if oil is only underneath or also in the tub. Step 3, gather your tools and plan for 3 hours of work. Step 4, if oil is just underneath, replace the transmission seal for $10.50. Step 5, if oil is in the tub too, replace both the transmission seal and tub seal. Remember, while this isn't the easiest repair, it sure beats buying a new washer for $800 plus. Look, I won't lie to you, this is a pretty involved repair. If you're not comfortable tearing apart your whole washer, there's no shame in calling someone like me. But if you're up for the challenge, you can definitely save yourself a few $100 in labor costs. If you guys know someone who's having appliance troubles, please send them the link to this video or a link to my channel where I have tons of other videos showing how to fix pretty common issues with appliances, sometimes for free or as little cost as possible. It sure beats having a repairman come out and spending several hundred for them to fix it when it could be something so simple. If this helped you get your washer running again, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Let me know which fix worked for you. Really helps other people with the same problem. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We'll get this out to more folks who need to save some time and money. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.